Hey everyone, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited. We have a very special guest today, you guys. Welcome, Mr. Adam Barta. How are you?
Hello. It's exciting to be on other YouTubers' channels. 'Cause I love YouTube. I watch it as much as I watch broadcasts and streaming. So I love YouTubers and I love your channel. So
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I'm so grateful that you take the time to sit down with me. For those of you who aren't familiar with Adam, I have briefly mentioned him one time before recently, I think a couple months ago, when we were talking about a new show that Mama June was a part of called The Dish. We're going to get into that a lot more today. But I did want to just ask you if you could just tell us a little bit more about yourself and what got you into the entertainment industry to begin with?
Oh, it's very interesting. This is one of the first interviews I'm doing, if not the very first, where
Oh, yay.
yeah, so this is kind of an exclusive. I rebranded and changed myself over the past 2 years. The pandemic really changed me, and where a lot of you actually may know me from is the Howard Stern show. I was on there for years doing songs with Tan Mom, and that's actually how I met Mama June. Is I was doing music, and I've been on the Billboard charts with dance music. I've been on Z100, and a lot of people knew me from as this artist, this gay artist, and in the pandemic, I kind of really pivoted, and I always wanted to do movies and film and TV. And I had this passion, and it sort of got lost. A lot of things happened in my life that were unfortunate. My dad passed away at an early age, and my mom had a lot of struggles, and I took care of her for many years. And I think it kind of shifted me in the direction I kind of was lost. I love to be creative. I'm a creative
Right.
person, and music writing, I think I found a lot of passion in that, but it lacked the passion because music is a tough business. And it was just years of like thick skin, like just everyone from all sides quit it, give it up, and it got to me, and I kind of pivoted, long story short, in the pandemic. And I found this concept of content creation. I had always done YouTube videos and editing, but I never really put my heart into it. And once I found that, it was like a whole new world opened up to me. It was like, oh my God, this is what I was meant to do.
And I can relate to you on so much because I love songwriting and things, but the music industry is just, you know, all industries is very difficult, but the music industry, you see all these independent artists that really struggle to,
Very
get
much.
seen and heard because the music industry just doesn't allow it. So when I first heard of you, of course, was because of Mama June.
Mhm.
And after that, I went and looked at your YouTube channel, tried to get to know you a little bit more. And I see that you've been doing this for a minute, which is incredible. I love YouTube. It is a really cool creative outlet to just do
Yes.
things like this, do whatever you want to do, just to kind of get into the dish a little bit more. I'm just curious, and I'm sure other people are as well, as what inspired you to do a reality show like that, because the concept is really cool. It's like the behind the scenes of a reality star, how you get to become a reality star, and I think that's awesome. No one's really done that perspective before.
Yeah, it's kind of like, so it's funny because this has been really a 10-year project, believe it or not. So I like, for years I had this concept of doing this show. I always wanted to show about all of these crazy celebrities and media
Yeah.
personalities and the behind the scenes kind of like, with the Mama Junes and the Tan Moms and everything. And for years I try to package it as, me like making D-list celebrities stars and doing these parodies. And it was funny, but it was just one note. I think what the transformation was for me with the dish specifically was not so much having it be, because we shot, if it's actually, if you watch earlier versions of the pilot of the dish, it actually is much more of a show about what you just said. It's much more leaning into, this is how reality shows start, scenes of like us having meetings in Mama June. And then, it kind of turned into, I realized, well, I'm really a funny guy. Like I can do drama. I love doing drama, but I love do comedy just as much. So I was like, let's merge the two together and do comedy and drama. Became this parody. And what we shot was all, here's the interesting thing. It's not really a reality show. It's technically like a scripted comedy show because everything that's happened on the show is real in a way, one way or the other. But what it's done is we've taken these situations that are necessarily mundane and we make them ridiculously insane. You know, we do those sound effects and creative, and that's what the fun of the magic of the show is, to make people laugh. So, you know, Mama June, you know, doing the segment with Matt about chickens, there was really no segment, but did they really have that conversation? Absolutely. Was there really a chicken incident with Pumpkin? Absolutely. So it's kind of like this reality-based comedy where we're just making fun of everything, but like, that's funny, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it is funny. I remember I seen the first cut when you went live on your YouTube channel and was showing the little trailer. That's the one that I seen, the very first one I seen. And I remember after seeing it, because it was just a mashup of these little clips, I was like, what just happened?
That's it. That's the response.
What was this? But
That's
it was
exactly
funny. It was funny, and it was that you could tell it was real. Like there are reality shows that you watch that you can, even though you love them, like, you know, for me personally, my opinion, Sister Wives, Chris Lee Knows Best, those shows, love those shows. But even recently, the Chris Lee said they try to be as real as possible, but in reality TV, the producers and stuff do what they want with it, you know, and they're going to give the storylines they want. I don't know if anything's changed. This is kind of off the cuff, but in that video, I'd given like all the places that you could find the show. Do you mind let me know where people can find it if they're interested in watching it?
Sure, you can check it out, Apple TV. It's if you go on Apple TV and make sure to search with the hashtag in there, because there is another show I think called The Dish. This is hashtag specifically The Dish. It's on Tubi, which is where you can stream it for free.
Oh,
And then it's
cool.
also on Vudu and Google for people that have Android phones. So there's every which way you can watch it. And it is a 5-episode series. So this was just the pilot. Episode 2, Cake Bossy is the name of the episode. That will be coming out, I believe, in November. So 3's behind that with Debbie Gibson. And then I'm actually working on episode 4 now with the team that's being rendered. And that episode 4 I can reveal exclusively is a very big Mama June episode. It's called Ryan's Hope is the name of the episode, and Mama June will be a pivotal part of that one. So.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of fans over here that love Mama June. So I know that whenever I had first talked about it, there were so many questions, and I tried to kind of instill those in this interview. So this is just for funsies, I guess you could say. But as far as the cast of the show is considered, who would you say was the hardest cast member to actually work with?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say already answer quickly in my head is Patricia, Tan Mom, but admittedly, she admits she's the biggest diva of the whole group.
Right.
So I want to say it's definitely her. You know.
Oh yeah, and it's obvious too. I mean, just a little bit I've seen, she's a diva, and it's very obvious. Okay, cool. And to kind of reverse that, who was the easiest cast member to work with?
Well, it's interesting because I could also say her for worst cast member as well, but I'm going to give her the nicer side of this. I'm going to say Cynthia only because Cynthia, so here's another thing about the show that y'all need to know. The drama is real between these ladies. Like it is real, real, real. So Cynthia and Mama June do not like each other. There's stuff that's going to happen in the further episodes you're going to see that plays out. I don't want to give too much away, but stuff happens between them and it does not go well. And then that also connects to Tan Mom, who winds up fighting with Mama June and Cynthia. Cynthia has a fight with, or Tan Mom has a fight with Mama June in episode 3. I can't forget. Cynthia, I think, fights with Mama June in episode 2. And then my cousin Tiffany, who's also on the show, she winds up fighting with Cynthia and winds up becoming allies with Patricia. It's like a housewife story. That's the thing. We're self-aware of how stupid it is, but it's real. So that's why it's so funny, because it's like, this is really happening. But that's the difference between us and maybe a Bravo, is like Bravo is like, you know, adding the dramatic music and it's a real drama.
Exactly.
We're adding the dramatic music to show, guys, this is so stupid. Like all these older ladies are just fighting with each other. It's like, come on, like, you know.
Yeah, well, and let's be honest about it too. As yeah, of course, when it comes to drama and things like that, for me personally, the petty drama is where it's at. When it gets too serious, like, okay, this is too much, you know. But the petty drama is what's so entertaining because
and funny.
Yeah, it's funny. It's kind of harmless, you know. It's very entertaining. No one's really getting hurt, you know.
Yeah.
So I love it. I'm here for it for sure.
We had a challenge recently with episode 4 because we filmed some scenes with this wonderful photographer. He's a drag artist, Corey Moore, and he had cancer. He had like stage 4 cancer and made it through. So we filmed this beautiful package of him talking about the cancer and everything. And then, you know, we're watching the show now and we're like, how do we use this in a comedy show? Like he has stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
So we did it in a way I think that was funny, but it's like a delicate line. But now it's like, you know, it's so I'm like, if we can handle that and make it work, I think we can handle like anything and make it funny. So
Oh,
I'm like, we
yeah.
got
This is another one of those kind of reverse questions, but I'm just curious, what was your favorite part about filming The Dish? And then to reverse that, your least favorite part?
there's a scene in episode 1 and episode 2 with my mom, and my mom passed away in 2016, and she filmed this, and like I said, this show has been going on, the concept, for 10 years. So she, you know, at some point filmed a little thing with me, and we were able to use it in the
Oh,
show.
oh,
So I don't know, I'm gonna start crying. Last night with thank you, with we went to the movie and we got to screen it on the big screen in the movie theater, and seeing my mom on the movie screen, I still haven't processed it all the way, but that was, and my mom was my hero. She's the reason I'm here. Like, you can see her in the background here. Like, she's why, her and my dad, like, they are the 100% the reason why I'm here, and this is all for them to honor them.
my mom is my best friend, so I couldn't even imagine.
She was mine, yeah. Yeah, and that's why I
Yeah,
think it's amazing to have her with me in this experience, because she's been gone for 6 years. Gosh, I'm sorry. Like, she's been gone for 6 years, and, you know, she's with me, like, she's here, and so, yeah,
yeah.
it's
And I
cool.
bet
It's
that
cool.
moment with the big screen was like,
I
such a
haven't
proud moment.
like, I haven't processed it yet, because I know I'm gonna start bawling, so I'm like, I'm waiting
Right.
till my bath time later.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, but it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling. So that's hands
Yeah.
down been the best part of this whole thing. The worst part I have to say was probably the QC process. So basically, when you film stuff, you know, you have to go through a whole rigmarole to get it to be broadcast quality. When we were going through that the first time, it was so painstaking, because we didn't know if we were going to get approved or not. And it was like a 6-week period. I was just so stressed out. I was so stressed out.
That's the thing is, as the audience or even myself, we really just don't know the process that goes into that. We could talk about these shows all day, but there's so much behind the scenes, and that's a big part of it. Tell me, like, the day that you found out that when they did pick it up and you found out that they were going to air it, essentially, how that felt for you.
You know, it was almost, I don't want to say anticlimactic, because we were like waiting for so long, and it was really a lot behind the scenes that was going on. But I remember, I think we went out to dinner. I was just like, I think I cried. I did cry. I think I cried a little bit. I was so relieved. But it also lit a fire, because now I'm like, it was like, there was a point where I was like, all right, if this doesn't go, then I tried my hardest. I did, I did. But now I'm like, crap, now I have to do this. Like, I really have, like, I
Yeah.
did it. Now I have to continue. So
You got to keep it going. Absolutely. Just out of curiosity, so I know that you're one of the masterminds behind this. Now, is this a group effort and like a lot of you working together, or was this solely your idea and then put into motion with other people?
So me and this woman, Cynthia Beaumont, who's a YouTuber, we actually became good friends, and she came down here and we filmed a lot, and we did a YouTube show called #TheT, and it became like this Friday night drama. We'd get like hundreds of people tuning in. That's already been shot. It's now going to be a movie called #TheT. It's a project. It has like real movie stars like Tamara Glynn, Tuesday Night, Lisa Wilcox. They're all from Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Queen. So that project is being worked on, but what happened with The Dish is we started another YouTube show, and I was like, let's do another one. We did like about 10 episodes where we were kind of feeling it out and seeing what it would be. And then I realized the formula. I was like, oh my God, let's see if this can be. And Mama June kind of came down and she started filming with us. And so it kind of was like a snowball that just kept building. I had a network actually interested in buying the episodes. And then I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? I can actually take this from YouTube and make this into. So then I was like, the fire was really lit. And I was like, I went back, I created episodes out of the YouTube content, and I started hiring actors and the drag queen personas and people to come in and be the story narrators, and kind of built the show backwards out of what we did on YouTube.
The fact that it started here and then
Mhm.
now what it is today, that's really awesome. And it's inspirational for, other creators as well. As you know, the one thing that comes with reality TV is the drama, the tea, as you said, the tea. And
Mhm.
there's been a little bit of that stirring with the show, with all, like you said, Cynthia and Mama June, yourself. And I've seen a little bit of that going on. I also tuned in a couple of months ago when you and Mama June was on Court Night Live TV, who sued you for, according to her, allegedly not sticking to your promises of payment and for not giving her recognition as the executive producer. Now, at the end of that, she won, but I'm just curious, is there more to that story than what we know as the public, or has that worked itself out since then? I was wondering if you could just kind of give us a little bit more tea on that.
To be clear, like, and I said this on the court show, like, I never said I wasn't going to pay June. So she was just didn't think I was going to pay her. The question was when she was going to get paid, because the show is really I'm not going to see any money until next year for anything. So, the understanding of me and June working together was that she would see the money as it came in. We've worked for years together, and we've done many, many projects where we've split money together, and it's never been an issue. So there's that. I think the real sticking point was the executive producer credit. And I think what it was that June also saw how great the project was. Like, I think when we're doing it, you're sitting here and she's helping me and doing it. But then once you see it, she was like, oh my God, I need to be, because if you think about it, if it was a horrible project, she would be like, I don't want to take my name off.
She don't want her name on it. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's kind of a compliment in a way,
Exactly. And when they approached me to go on and do the court show, I'm thinking in my head, well, whether she knows it or not, she's actually complimenting me. So I'm like, sure.
Whenever I covered it, I did try to play devil's advocate because, of course, I was going off of articles I had read and the show itself that I had watched. When that had happened, there was a question on if it was done as a publicity stunt to get more eyes on the show. And I was just curious if that was maybe not even intentionally, but if that was what it was.
Well, what I would say is I can't speak for anyone else. I don't know. Like, I'm just speaking for Adam Barta. In my thought process of going on the show, of course, that's something that's in my head. But any celebrity that's going on any reality show to do something, whether it's a charity or something, they're going on for the reason, but they're also going on for the same reason, to their brand. So, if it was something that wasn't, I didn't think would have helped the show, I would have said, no, let's settle this in private. And I'm confident me and June would have settled it outside of the court show, but it played out the way it did. Now, I will say this: I think the judge was horrible. I think she looked like Tan Mom's ugly sister. She was a total moron. She didn't know what she was talking about. She was very disrespectful, and I don't even know what she did. Like, she's an idiot.
Paired originally.
I didn't ask you that.
Together.
Isn't it her celebrity status that drew you to her?
No, it was a manager that put us together on a project.
Because she's a celebrity.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But that also should show people that it is real, because if I had known that she was going to be that crazy, I would have thought twice about doing it. But it is what it is. Like, I don't regret it by any means, but that definitely shows, at least to me, that there was nothing planned. It was how it was going to go. As a matter of fact, I thought my case was pretty solid, so it was kind of shocking. But again, it's TV, so it's produced for TV. I get it. It was a great experience. I have nothing bad to say about it except the judge. Right. But I mean, that's also good TV. If the judge wants to argue with me on TV, I'll do it again.
Yep,
I'm sure they would like it,
TV. Drama sells, lots of people tuned in for that. That's for sure.
Exactly.
And, I just want to add too, in my opinion, your answer there shows just how real it is as well, because a lot of people would deny that, and say, oh, well, no, but to be able to say, well, of course, I knew this would be good for my brand. I knew this would be good for the show, attention, recognition. That's real. It's real, and you just don't get that a lot in entertainment industry, the realness behind anything. So
people are smart. They can smell BS, so it's like, I can't sit here and make people, that's insulting their intelligence if I say, well, no, I had nothing to do with it. Again, it's like, and it's the same thing with the show. Why do they have me and Mama June on? Because the ratings, so
absolutely. And it kind of makes the world go round, even in what I do, talking about this type of thing, clickbait titles and the thumbnails, like it's all the same type of thing. No matter what you're doing, whatever you work in, you want that recognition, and you're going to do what you have to do to get that recognition. You work hard, you want to be recognized for that.
And I will say, answering your second part about me and Mama June, we're fine. I mean, she's been posting about the show on her Instagram.
I noticed that. Yeah.
So she's been talking about it. I wish she was here. We actually had our film festival premiere at the Treasure Coast International Film Festival yesterday. I wish June was here. Would have loved to gone with her, but hopefully we'll see her soon.
Right, absolutely. And that's really good to hear. I had noticed that she had been promoting it a little bit over on Instagram and stuff. And I was curious on how you guys were doing since then, because not everybody keeps up with things, but I know you guys have been lifelong or long-term friends, and
Yeah.
y'all worked together several times. So just out of curiosity, since you have known Mama June for a good a minute, what has your relationship with her been like throughout the years?
Well, when I first met her in 2015, we did the Honey Boo Boo Bop was that song, the Moving Up.
Yes.
That was a fun project. And I didn't really talk to June for, I think when I was on Dr. Miami, we talked a little bit because our shows were like airing back to back. And I was on WeTV, but then it wasn't really until 2020 when she moved and came down here for rehab that I reconnected with her. And she was, staying nearby, and we were kind of always working together and doing projects. I think people were saying like we were dating at some point. It was so like,
oh my goodness.
I was her personal trainer. I was her boyfriend. So it was a fun summer, but it was a pandemic, the middle of the pandemic. So I think a lot of people forgot, like, it kind of is the lost summer,
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think in that period, for me, that's when I started YouTube. And I know I've heard you say, the pandemic, you kind of got back into it. A lot of us were kind of just lost and didn't know what to do, because we were so limited. So it's cool that you guys were able to hang out during that time, and especially with her in recovery and in such a like fragile state, in her life. I'm sure she
Yeah.
really appreciated having you too. And when it comes to Mama June, I have not a love-hate relationship. I've definitely criticized her many times when it comes to the show. I think she's definitely got work ethic. She works her butt off. She's good at what she does. People love watching her, whether it's love-hate watching her or they adore her. Either way, she's got that thing, and she's came a long way. She's put in a lot of work. So I'm really proud of her for that. That alone is a big deal. So this is kind of off topic, but I am curious about it because I did hear a little bit of whispers in the street about it. Recently, you did a video addressing another commentator here in the reality TV realm, and it was definitely spicy. And since then you've made another, I will pop those up and everything, but tell me like what is going on there. That was another one of those big questions because it seems like it's been this really big thing recently.
Yeah. So she basically was a YouTuber that, someone or Mama June had suggested I reach out to a couple years ago, and I didn't even really want to, but it was June's, suggesting. I was like, June's really good. I trust her advice too. That's the other thing is I trust June because she's not she's done me right. Like I've seen I can trust her. So, I was like, okay. And, she responded and was like, no, not interested. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I just moved on.
Right.
And then I think it was a few months ago when we were doing the court thing, I had come across a video where she was basically just questioning like how I got everything I got, that I put in no work and I have no views on YouTube. And I was like, really, girl? So then, June was telling me she was talking about me to her and telling her all this stuff and I'm using her. And June's like, no. Then it just kind of escalated from there.
The first thing that this woman does, she goes down here. She goes down here. Annie's saying you don't have views. She's talking about her YouTube, whatever. This woman instantly goes below the belt. Oh, she's ugly. She's a witch. She doesn't look good. Well, honey, what do you look like? What do you look like that you are so criticizing this woman and her age? And by the way, a lot of your viewers are probably the same age. You're the only one doing it backwards, Barbie. You're the only one pulling up everyone's accounts because you are so insecure with your own view. You're insecure. She sounds like Candy Morgan.
Yeah. I won't allow anyone to say anything disparaging or, listen, at the end of the day, do I really care what her opinion is of me? No, but she ruffled feathers. She ruffled a lot of feathers, not just mine. Put it that way.
That was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it up because I had seen there were other people involved at this point, and it had kind of grew like wildfire, so to speak. So I hope that it all sorts itself out. I do, but I had to ask.
No. I think it will. I think it's just, again, for me, at the end of the day, it's like, it's YouTube content, but when you start throwing false information out and stuff, you
Yes.
just got to be real careful and using people's stuff without permission. Because I will say this, the biggest difference between doing YouTube and television, and this is the biggest, this is why people, it's so hard, is getting the rights to do clearance on anything you put on. Because TV, you have to clear the music, you have to clear the people, you have to clear the location, you have everything, you have to own the rights to, or an agreement, a signed agreement. I like YouTube for this reason too. I can do a video in a couple hours and throw it up, use all these images, pull them down, and it's fine. With TV, it's not that simple. And that's what she didn't understand is, you know, like it takes weeks. I'm not saying it's not hard work to do 20 videos on YouTube in a week. It is, but you just can't do that many of TV because it takes so much more time. It's such a more complicated, drawn out process.
From where I stand, I think it's kind of common sense because we don't go through anybody. We can put what we could, you essentially, I see so many people constantly on a daily basis that just hop on here and just talk shit, you know, like they don't do anything. They don't edit nothing, and thousands of people watch it. That's the cool thing about YouTube is you can do anything and you don't have to go through anybody. But of course, TV is different. And I don't know. I thought that was a known thing, you know, but I guess not. I will say, with that one, this isn't new, right? Like that's just kind of part of her character, kind of just what a part of who she is. So I wouldn't take it personal. I know it is directed towards you, so of course you're going to take it personal, but you're not the only one. Let's just put it that way.
And I've heard that from, thank you. And I've heard that from the interwebs so as well. So that's why I'm just like watching, sitting back. I'm like, okay, like, let me just see what happens here.
Before I do a fun little segment, I do have one last question. Now that The Dish is releasing, what are you most looking forward to when it comes to the future in the entertainment industry?
Obviously, I have so many plans for season 2, season 3, season 4 of The Dish. So I really want to keep going with this. And I hope we find a really good home. I mean, we're on Tubi, stream it for free. You know, I would love to get it on to Hulu or a Peacock or someplace like that. It's really going to be about the fans just making noise. And I think it's going to be a slow burn with the show, but I think there's a lot more to show and give. And I think this is, like you said, this is something so different. So I hope people will really support it because we don't have like a $40 million marketing budgets. It's all this like homegrown and, you know, doing one-on-one interviews and going out and just getting the word. So I really appreciate everyone and anyone that watches.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, please definitely check out the description. All the information will be there. And also just go check him out, support him. I'll put his YouTube channel, all of his things in the description. Before we go though, I thought it would be fun if we did a little Never Have I Ever Put a Finger Down edition, just to kind of end this with a comedic relief itself. Never have I ever been a part of the Mile High Club.
So if we do it, I have to put your hand up or don't
you
put
your you start with 5 and you put 1 down.
Oh, okay. If you've done it. Okay, no, I don't
know. Okay, awesome. Me neither. I'm terrified of flying.
Me too. I take Xanax and alcohol.
I don't blame you. I would have to too. The next one, never have I ever gone skinny dipping.
Oh.
Who hasn't?
I might do it later.
It's getting too cold, but back in my younger years, never have I ever creeped an ex on social media.
Oh. Of course. I'm doing it right now.
I mean, hey, never have I ever kissed my best friend.
Well, I'm married to my best friend, so
that's awesome. Me too. So I have to put my finger down on that one. Never have I ever gotten a speeding ticket. I haven't on that one. And let's see, you got one more finger. Let's pick a juicy one. Let me see here. Never have I ever gotten into a physical fight.
Oh yeah, no.
Again, Adam, thank you so much for joining me and taking the time out to do this with me. I really do appreciate it. I've wanted to get with you for a minute. So I do. I appreciate it. You guys, please go show them some love and support on this new project. And I wish you nothing but the best in this and all of your future endeavors.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we appreciate you. And yeah, report on the tea. We'll send you all the juicy scoops.
Please like this video if you haven't already. Subscribe and tap the bell if you like this type of content. And until the next one, bye guys.